Hello and welcome back to Recapped Movie. Today, we will review an action thriller movie titled Southland Tale. On July 4, 2005, in the United States, two towns in Texas, El Paso and Abilene, were destroyed by twin nuclear attacks, killing thousands and triggering a catastrophe of unimaginable proportions. The president declares martial law in Texas as America enters a state of chaos and hysteria. Word spreads around the globe as well as speculation of a third world war, with the U.S. government reintroducing the draft, while the accelerated conflict in the Middle East also places restrictions on America's access to oil. The 2008 presidential elections were to be decided by the votes of one state as the Republicans raced to secure California. In 2008, a boxer Centauros with ties to the Republican Party vanishes without a trace and is discovered 3 days later in the Nevada desert with his memory erased, and he later returns to the Southland unnoticed. Meanwhile, Pilot Abilene, a veteran of the war in Iraq who reads the end-time scriptures and now tells the story of boxer Centauros and the events that led to the end of the world. Prior to this, the government forms a citizen surveillance agency known as USAID, which censors the internet and requires fingerprints to access computers and banks. With no other alternative source of energy, gas, German scientist Baron Westphalia and his crew design a generator propelled by ocean currents called Fluid Karma, which provides inexhaustible energy. Meanwhile, Krista, an ex-adult star, creates a reality TV show explaining the issues of society like poverty, quantum teleportation, and war, and she hides the missing boxer, Centauros. The national security search for boxer Centauros, led by his own mother-in-law, Nana Frost, wife of Republican Senator Bobby Frost. Now in Los Angeles, called the Southland, an underground neo-Marxist organization watches the town and plans to expose the sins of the U.S. ident, and they even take as a hostage officer Roland. Roland Taverner impersonates his twin brother Roland as a cop and later visits Centauros and Krista, who are planning to shoot a screenplay narrating the events. Taverner inquiries about Centauros' life and involvement with Senator Frost, which he denies. The neo-Marxists intend to sabotage the incoming elections and recruit Kenny Chan to work as a mole inside the U.S. ident who befriends Starla in the agency. The Marxists, led by Zora, also send a tape of Centauros and Krista together to Senator Bobby Frost asking for $1 million for it, but he refuses to negotiate. Later, Nana Frost, NSA boss, manages to track one of the Marxists and they follow and shoot down some, but the captured Roland escapes. Boxer Centauros also gets to meet the Trayer Company scientists who have read his screenplay, and they tell him how it is planned that the world ends exactly as he has predicted, with a bang. Starla, who works at surveillance headquarters USAID, also downloads a copy of Centauros' screenplay. Meanwhile, as Centauros and the Marxists shoot the screenplay, an ignorant officer, Bart Bookman, thinking it is real, shockingly shoots down two of their actors and Centauros flees the scene. Now Starla, using acting name Dr. Muriel, and informs Centauros of the discovery that the tidal generator of Fluid Karma is causing huge environmental hazards, and she gives him a contact to call later. Zora, Taverner, and the remaining Marxists later have a falling out, and a false word spreads that the killed couple shot by the officer from the play had murdered themselves. Senator Bobby Frost invites Centauros to his office and he meets his daughter Madeline, who was Centauros' wife before he disappeared, to discuss the subject of his disappearance. They also invite Krista, reveals she has many videos with Centauros, and Madeline asks his father to pay them the money, so they destroy the videos lest it affects the elections. Madeline also reveals she is pregnant with Centauros' child, while Krista reveals that the scientist Baron paid her to get Centauros from the desert he was stranded, which he denies. Madeline also adds to the fire by accusing Baron of secretly funding the Marxists, but he shoots back by revealing Madeline's pregnancy is actually by Brandt, their assistant, and everyone later disperses in shock. Later, news reports reveal that Baron had been testing the energy from Fluid Karma in Iraq but had failed to inform everyone of the environmental hazards of the project. Baron also signs a deal with Japan's prime minister where he trades his hand in exchange for access to the energy project. In the Southland, record-breaking temperatures begin to sizzle in as high as 124 degrees, while a vendor resells the energy Fluid Karma locally as a drug after smuggling the drug from the Utopia 3 site. Following this, Krista steals the tape of her and missing boxer from Zora's home, plans how to use it to affect the US ident system. The police issue an arrest warrant for Roland Taverner, supposedly hidden by the Marxists, but Taverner tries to find his twin brother Roland. Later, the Marxist Pinziki gives the boxer Krista footage to the senator in exchange for the money, and she threatens she has another more incriminating tape, but Zora learns that Krista stole it. Meanwhile, earthquakes in the Southland increase in number due to tidal disturbances from the Utopia 3 facility, indicating danger in the horizon. Centauros meets with Starla, who has secrets to tell him, but she gets shot by Nana's soldier before revealing Nana Frost sends more soldiers to retrieve the tape from Krista and Zora. Zora also goes after Krista for the tape but gets shot by the soldiers while Nana watches from her office screens, and Centauros also gets captured by Baron's men. Riots begin in the Southland and Taverner tries to escape to Mexico with his new friend, another soldier whom he asks to travel with him. Centauros later wakes up at Madeline's house and he explains that the world ends tonight, and Krista hands the tape to Baron. Later that night, thousands gather for the revealing of Baron's Mega Zeppelin energy project, including Centauros and his wife Madeline, while riots continue outside. In the party, the Baron's scientist explained to Centauros about the anomalies caused by the energy project, including the emerging rifts, and they reveal how sent him before he disappeared into the dimensional rifts. Centauros passed through the rift and so his future self emerged later, hence his loss of memories, and they show him his past body to his shock. Officer Taverner and his friend withdraw from an ATM but it declines, and so they take the whole ATM machine with them to Mexico. Later, Centauros gets information that it was Officer Roland Taverner who was hired to take him through the rift, but he also went through, and so the twins are actually one person. Taverner's car crashes with his twins and they expectantly meet and greet. While Krista and her team perform a dance at the party, the rioters barge in the building and kill Nana Frost and some of the system. Centauros and Madeline then join the dance, but after sensing danger, he later asks everyone to evacuate, which they ignore. Now outside the building, Taverner's friend is asked to complete his task and he gets a bazooka and shoots a missile into the party building filled with fluid karma, which causes a large explosion destroying the city. That's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel. It helps us a lot.